Hello YouTube, Ronan Kazi here. I have a video. I'm going to go over part of my build, but this is my standard build. I think I put a build yesterday with my max DPS. This is my build that I always recommend. This is my bile jammer. You can see that I threw out shock trap, and we're going against rogues. We're here doing the Parnell, the prison in New York, and I just got smoked, almost completely smoked right there by the rogues out there. And there you see I'm pulsing them. I'm switching from capacitor to blue screen, hopefully. Nope, shotgun. Usually when I go against rogues, I go with the shotgun because it has that stopping power, the crowd control. And you can see I am absolutely going to be jamming the crap out of those rogues. I looked at it again, it's about 12.6 in this build. It's not quite as fast as I thought it was, but it's 12.6. And I'm going to have a Vile mask as my mask. And I'm going to have a China Light backpack with Creeping Death. The China Light is for the 15% explosion, so it will help when I start throwing Seekers. After that, we have a couple of things on this build, and you can hear my dogs going crazy as usual. In this build, I have a chest piece that is a blue. It's a Gila system. It has a 5% armor, and it has the Unbreakable talent, 95% armor back when you get your armor broke every 60 seconds. Normally, on my other builds that are of this ilk, the same pieces but a little bit different. And there you can see it just fired off, and then maybe it didn't fire off. I have some regen built into it where I don't have to heal. But this build I try to maximize for status effects and recharge. The other pieces, I think I have a Golden Gear that I rolled yellow as my my holster, and I think I have two improvised pieces on my hands and the knee pads. And the idea is to get as many improvised pieces where I can put them in with recharge, so I can get the recharge as fast as possible. When I was making this build, I got it down to 12 seconds flat, but it was just, I don't know what the value between 12.6 and 12.0 is. It's 0.6, right? Obviously, ha ha ha. But that's 5 a minute versus 5 every minute and a half, with you got a little bit more damage. You can see I'm putting out 80 probably to them and 95. You get a 10% boost to their skills. So this is a fantastic build for going against rogues because you're taking away, apparently not there, you're taking away their skill advantage. You're putting pressure on them. There you can see that's the Unbreakable just popped. And you, I'm sorry, the dogs are just going crazy for a second. Partner went down, someone went back to get him. I'll run back out. I'm trying to support this guy up front. You can see what's predictable. It's going to happen with the rogues. I'm not going to get there fast enough. But he has, you know, he's going to revive himself. Even with only 2 rogues, it's still tough. But we have him on the run at this point. So one of the keys in this is that you got the speed of it. I know we talked about the Eclipse protocol. It does a lot of status damage. I think you can duplicate that with yellows. Again, the thing with greens, it's with only that one modification slot, you're kind of limited. Excuse me, not modification. With the only one attribute other than the main, you're kind of stuck. And there's the rogues. They're done. So that was relatively easy. And so there's a lot of different possibilities. Again, using Scorpio or blue screen is accentuated with Vile because you're going to spread it to other people. Creeping Death is going to spread it to everyone within, 5 or 8 meters. There's a cooldown on Creeping Death, But if you get people coming out of a spawn point, you can absolutely please. YouTube does not want to hear you yet. Maybe I should start a dog channel. But that's kind of the strength of the build. You can in a group, right? For group play, it's all the time. And you can see there's no one else in the group that really is pulsing, so I can do that. In the last video I had where I was going over my max weapon DPS build, I got out of this build because there's other people in there doing it. You just fight for the vial debuff then, and that makes no sense. So you can see I'm changing up a little bit. So I'm going to put a turret. I usually throw it up on this right there. I've tried throwing it up on that corner. It's not very effective. You see, if I pulse, my pulse reaches far enough where I can kill all the fake. Everyone can figure it out, but it just makes it easier. Also, you get more XP for killing them all the time. And again, like we said, with the vial and the jammer pulse, you're always marking the enemy. Always putting pressure. So, what's another advantage of this build? Well, if you throw your grenades and they put a status effect, you're going to start the vial debuff again. So you can, the main thing is you're putting this debuff on everything. That's the point of the build. And against technology, you're just locking down technology constantly. And on legendary, when you're going against Black Tusk, excuse me, it's, you know, vital. Dogs aren't a problem then. Drones aren't a problem. Sometimes if you're doing heroic with this build, I might go where you have the pulse that disorient. I think that's in the gunner. And you spam the crap out of that. That effect lasts a long time. You can almost put them in perma lock. I think it's 10 seconds and you're doing it every 12. So it's pretty effective. Your debuff only goes for 10 seconds, but they're disoriented for a long time. If I'm in legendary, you know, I can stay in cover. Another viewer commented to me that he plays his weapon, he's in cover a lot. So maybe if I was any good at shooting, I would stay in cover and do it. But this play style kind of fits me. And I know some people that never want to play skills. You know, back when I first started playing the Division, and I played Division 2, I was proselytizing like how great skills are. Some people just aren't skill people, they're gun people. There was a guy I used to play with who was like, he wanted to have the fastest reload. And it was funny, but he had a quick reload. You know, that helps your DPS. So it wasn't, you know, it was odd to me, but that's the way he saw the game, was a way for him to exploit the vulnerabilities in the game, or the opportunities to do more damage or whatever. So heroic on any build, you should be able to, you know, if you have a decent group, you're going to go through the content relatively fast. This was a medium group. Talking more about the build, you know, you have the benefit with this build. You can use Firefly, Blinder, and that's an AoE, again, creeping death. If you get one blind on one person, it's going to do everyone around them. So if you have Blinder going to different places, you're getting a lot of people. Also with Shock Trap, again, the idea was, what can I do where I can stay in a legendary setting, where I can stay in cover and do damage to the group? And if you put out Shock Trap, that's putting Shock Trap. Now it's putting 800k when someone walks into it. It's 800k over 10 seconds. I'm pulsing them. It's 800k to everyone. If I Scorpio someone out, coming out of the spawn, don't die. If I Scorpio someone out of a spawn, then it's, you know, it's getting everyone still that hasn't come out of the spawn point yet. So it's a great build to add utility. It's a great build to mark. And quite frankly, when I don't see that in I don't see that in a group. You know, sometimes they say, man, we look at all the benefits we could have for having that. I try not to switch to it. I'm still working on a DPS build, but one of the commenters has convinced me that maybe I don't have to do that. It didn't take a lot of convincing because I don't want to do it, and I can't find something. Not a good sniper. You know, that seems like that could be. When I did that sniper build with there's the chest piece that's 800 times whatever. And I was getting 12 million shots, but it's, you know, I don't know. When you're in some of these groups, the people are so DPS that you don't have a long time to get, you know, to let a scope build up all that charge and everything. And maybe I'm just a bad sniper because I select the wrong targets. Maybe I'm selecting the targets everyone else is. I want to also really appreciate everyone that's subscribing. I really appreciate it. I appreciate when you share. I appreciate when you give comments. Obviously, my goal is to get the channel pretty big. Sometimes it's, as someone starting off, it's disheartening because I look at other people. I don't really look at their videos, but I get in the YouTube Creator Studio say, here's other videos similar to yours. And, you know, the people are getting 60,000 in a view. And I don't think I have 60,000 views, period. And they're getting them on one. So it's, you know, everyone tells me, yeah, it takes time. But I really appreciate everyone that watches it. And I take your suggestions. A lot of people have build suggestions. Someone had talked about, it's the build, it's the backpack that puts a debuff on the person, 10 or 12% on them. And there's just other kind of complementary builds in a group. I imagine if I was in a guild or a clan, you know, and I could have people that they wanted to do those things, you probably make a pretty good group to go through things. The other thing I start doing is playing hardcore. If you start a new character and you have a character slot open, you can do it in hardcore. And hardcore is if you die and you lose the character. I love that mode. It's kind of like survival mode in the Division. So I have a character on that. I'd love to play with people. And the reason, I'll figure out the guy's name, but I was running with some guy. I helped him. I was level 80 on my Shepherd. And he was a really nice guy. And at the end of the mission, made sure he endorsed us. But then he said he ran it. And I was like, wow, it was great. He explained it pretty well. So I might look him back up. My character kind of sucked. So I'm like level 7, level 8. But that's another possibility if you think the game's boring. I was in Viewpoint Museum, which is never my favorite for a skill build. And, you know, I just got the last EMP thing down. And then I'm running back to safety. And then I'm almost dying. I'm like, why don't you heal? Why don't you heal? So always anxiety. Maybe you don't need that anxiety. And you're, oh my gosh, there I go, I'm down. Near the end. This group was great. They picked everyone up. And so maybe you don't want that anxiousness, but if you're looking for a challenge, it certainly is. And there was a bunch of people in past level 40, so I'm hoping to do that as well. And I'll bring you some of those videos, but a lot of it's replaying what you already play at the lower level. I started a little bit of retelling the story for people that like the story, but I might continue it through that. So that's the build and the rogues in this video. And I appreciate everyone for watching and commenting, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you again. Bye.
I got a link to his watch, but he's running some kind of wipe protocol, and it's gone.